Okay, stop everything right now because what we're about to get into is the kind of story that General Hospital has been building toward for weeks. Secrets, kidnapping, betrayal, and one mother who is completely cornered with no way out. If you've been sleeping on this storyline, consider this your official wake-up call. Because Liz, she's not just a nurse anymore. She is sitting on a powder keg and somebody just lit the fuse. Let's break this down from the top. Because the way this has all been quietly stacking up behind the scenes, honestly, it's been giving us full spy thriller energy. And most of Port Charles has no idea this woman, a nurse, has been collecting secrets like their currency. And we're not talking small hospital gossip here. We're talking 3 massive, life-destroying secrets that could detonate everything. The terrifying part, she's been carrying all of this completely alone. No backup. No allies. Just Liz, her knowledge, and the ever-growing weight of what she knows. Secret number 1, Liz suspects Drew's stroke was not natural. Not an accident. Not bad health. She believes Drew was poisoned. And here's where it gets really twisted for us. She also believes Brennan's stroke is directly connected to the same case. 2 strokes. 2 powerful men. One very suspicious nurse quietly connecting dots that nobody else is even looking for. Now, Nina and Willow may not even know yet that Liz is onto them, which means they haven't moved to cover their tracks, not when it comes to her, anyway. For now, that part of the secret might still be contained. But guys, might is doing a whole lot of heavy lifting in that sentence right now. Because secret number 2, that one is already bleeding out. Liz knows who pulled the trigger on Cullum. She knows it wasn't Jason. She knows it wasn't Danny. She knows it was Rocco, and she knows because she saw the burn wound on his hand from handling that gun. That one detail. That single physical detail has put a direct target on Liz's back. And once Cullum started watching her, there was no going back. Now here's where our story gets absolutely unhinged, because Cullum is not the kind of man who accepts a bad answer and moves on. He never bought the story that Jason shot him. Walk through the timeline with us for a second. At the exact moment Cullum was shot, Jason was Cullum's victim, barely breathing, seconds away from being killed. There is no version of reality where Jason grabs a gun in that condition. And the shot came from behind Cullum, not from the front. That story never held up, and Cullum knew it from day one. So where did his suspicion land next? Danny. And on the surface, you can see why. Danny had motive, Danny had rage, Danny had everything to fight for. But the deeper Cullum dug, the more that theory collapsed under its own weight. Here's the thing that makes this so compelling to us. If Danny had actually pulled that trigger, he would know Cullum was already handled. He wouldn't be out there pointing fingers at Sidwell. He wouldn't be risking his life planning to break into Sidwell's castle to rescue Jason. That level of desperation doesn't belong to someone who already made their move. Cullum worked through that logic and cleared Danny, at least in his own mind. And then he spotted Rocco. The hand injury. The timing. The way every piece quietly pointed in the same direction. Cullum started circling. And we all know what Cullum does when he locks onto a target. But here's the thing. Rocco isn't easy to pin down directly. So Cullum needed another way in. And that's when Liz, protective, loyal, completely overwhelmed, Liz accidentally let something slip. Just a fragment. Just enough of a crack for Cullum to see through. And that was all he needed to confirm what he already suspected. She knows. She's been hiding it. And now she's his leverage. He can't break her directly. He knows that. But Cullum is the kind of man who finds the pressure point and then he applies everything he has to it. Guys, Jake is gone. And Liz didn't even know it had happened. That's the part that makes this so devastating to watch unfold. Jake vanished without a trace, And Liz had no idea, not until Cullum walked up to her and placed a photograph directly in her hands. A photograph of her own son. Can we just sit with that image for a moment? 1 second, your child is safe. The next second, the most dangerous man in the room is standing in front of you holding proof that he has your kid. Liz shattered. Of course she did. There is no mother on earth who wouldn't. But Cullum didn't come with sympathy. He came with a deal. His terms? 2 things. First, total silence. Nobody finds out Jake was taken. Not Jason, not Lucky, not the police, not anyone in our orbit. Liz keeps her mouth shut completely. Second, she gives him everything. Every secret, every detail, every piece of information she's been holding. All of it. Right now. And here is the most brutal part of this entire situation. To save Jake's life, Liz may have to give up Rocco. She knows exactly what that means. She knows the moment Rocco's name leaves her lips, his world collapses. She knows she is potentially trading one person's safety for another. But what choice does any of us have in a situation like that? When Cullum is standing right there with that photo and Jake's life is the cost of her silence, if you ask me, this is the defining moment of Liz's entire season. Not the secrets she kept, but the ones she cannot keep any longer. So where does all of this leave us? Liz is completely trapped. Rocco is walking toward danger without knowing it. Cullum has more leverage now than he's ever had. And Danny, who has been trying to do the right thing through all of this, is still out there, unaware that the person closest to the full truth is being crushed from every direction. And Dante, the man who deliberately destroyed that evidence and then lied about misplacing it, he's sitting on his own ticking secret one that could unravel this entire case the moment it surfaces. So our big question is, who breaks first? Does Liz hand Cullum what he wants and sacrifice Rocco to get Jake back? Does someone notice Jake is missing before she's forced into that corner? Or does Cullum push just a little too hard and something in all of this explodes in a way none of us saw coming? Because here's what keeps pulling us back to this storyline. Cullum is ruthless, yes, but he's also precise. He doesn't want chaos. He wants control. And right now, Liz is the only one holding the key to something he's been hunting since the moment that bullet found him. But let's not count Liz out. This is a woman who has survived more than most people in Port Charles can even imagine. And if you think she's going down without a fight, you clearly haven't been paying attention. Stay with us, because this is nowhere near over. And the next move, it changes everything for all of us.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.